Good morning, Minister. I have a question about your address this morning at the FinanceMalta conference, specifically on Malta's tax regime. As you pointed out, there is an ongoing discussion at OECD level on the global tax rates, and you indicated that Malta wants to be part of that discussion, it doesn't want to be left out of that discussion, and there seems to be a push towards attracting greater tax revenue from some of the largest companies in the world. Could you please give us some more details on what Malta's proposal, counter proposal is to this tax regime change?
Well, the proposal that we have at hand right now still needs to be beefed up. In fact, I'm expecting that the final proposal will be finalized by October. So really and truly, for the time being, Malta has sent to OECD its red lines. As you've mentioned out, the issue that we have at hand over here is that the big countries would like to raise revenue, and they can do so unilaterally. So basically, if we just say that we are against, we can be completely left out of this process. And ultimately, if the proposal is enacted as it is being suggested, we can say no. But then, because there is tax transparency, they can take the difference between what we charge as a tax and the difference that they would levy. And therefore, it makes sense that we get involved in this process to make sure that they get what they want, but we also safeguard what we're after.
Minister, you mentioned that you expressed confidence that Malta will pass the FATF test again in the future. Now, one of the points that Malta failed on was related to taxation and criminal issues related out of it. Now, in recent months, we've seen police charging people with money laundering, with using tax evasion as a predicate offence. Are we expected to see more of these kind of prosecutions? And don't you think it's extremely unfair, given that these are debts that can just be settled administratively and civilly without having to drag people through court for years with a potential lengthy prison sentence?
It all depends on the degree of the offense, in the sense that if the degree of the offense is minimal, yes, it should be dealt with administratively, but if the degree is by far higher, I mean the amounts involved are quite substantial, then that is a completely different story. I mean, over the past months, we have made sure that we have the necessary legislative framework in place. Now we have to make sure that that legislative framework produces the desired results.
So when you say substantial, what do you mean?
Substantial in the sense that, I mean, if the amounts run into the hundreds of thousands or millions, I mean, that should be something that it is dealt with completely differently.
And if it's just a few thousands, you agree it should remain a civil issue and it shouldn't be treated as a predicate offence for money laundering?
Yes. The law as is right now, it is structured in that way.
Okay, because we have seen cases in court where...
But it depends. It depends whether it is, money laundering. One has to go into the merits of each case.
Are you concerned, though, that there are people who may not have paid the taxes for innocent reasons, but okay, obviously they should repay them, but now
I don't think that you don't pay taxes out of innocence, no?
No, but as in it wouldn't be for criminal purposes, and then okay, you can recoup what they haven't paid, but now they are fearing that the police are going to come down on them, which is a different kettle of fish.
One can always make up his mind and decide to settle any taxes that may have not been paid in the past.
There's also a bit more of a delicate issue when it comes to the FATF, and it's the UBO issue. We know that the MBR is currently working to review cases that it may have of incorrect or fraudulent information on UBOs, but do they have the resources and the know-how to really identify them? And is there another way that we can address this UBO issue?
What I'm aware that is being done with respect to UBOs is that they are going through past cases and they are making sure that they produce the necessary information that they are being, when I say they, the MBR, and being asked for from the foreign assessors. So yes, they are working on it and they have the necessary resources. If need be, they need additional resources, government would not think twice to provide such resources.
Minister, the FATF report didn't mention the cryptocurrency industry, so Are you going to apologize to the crypto industry for your comments on a TV show saying that we might need to get rid of this industry altogether?
I do not need to apologize for anything. Whatever I say, it is based on things that perhaps, even if they were not specifically written, it doesn't mean that they were not mentioned in bilaterals. So whatever I say it because I know what I'm saying, and I say it because I believe in it.
So do you think there is a future for the crypto industry in Malta?
What I'm saying is that we had, signs, we had also information from the SSS that at times they were strongly worried about the way how things are being handled in that area.
So what's the future of the industry over here?
Well, we have to sit down again with our SSRs in order to make sure how we're going to handle the pending things, and then if there are other areas that need to be addressed, we're going to make sure that those areas are addressed in the best interest of the country.
Thank you.
Okay.
It wasn't